Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about another play from Bill O'Brien's playbook. I know I did an earlier video on this. We talked about the play Hoss-Y-Juke. Today, let me just, I got to set up my defense here. We got our defense. Yeah, today, sorry about that. We're going to be talking about another play from Bill O'Brien's playbook. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's on the play Hoss-Y-Juke. It's just one play, pretty short video explaining how to run that play. But yeah, Bill O'Brien, he was the coach of Penn State football for a few years. He also was an offensive coordinator in New England with under Belichick with Brady. And coached there for a few years as an offensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach of the Houston Texans, if you did not know. But yeah, so he's been around football for quite some time, and today we're going to be talking about a play that he has used for a while now, and it's called Hoss-Y-Juke. So the other one was called Hoss-X-Follow. This one is going to be called, or is called, sorry, rather, Hoss-Y-Juke. Handwriting atrocious on this whiteboard, as always. Yeah, but Hoss-Y-Juke, I talked about it in a few other videos, but again, in play calling, each word is going to usually mean something, and that's how you know what's going on, or at least you get some idea of what's going on. Maybe not everything exactly, not every detail, but you get some idea of what's going on. You get the gist, and it's the same situation here. So Hoss, I mentioned in the last video, we're gonna get right to it, right? So each word is going to be a route in Bill O'Brien's concept, or in his system, and Hoss is a two-man route concept. It's a hitch seam concept, right? H for hitch, Hoss ends with S, H, S, hitch seam concept, where this number one strong side receiver is going to run a hitch, this number two receiver is going to run a seam, okay? And again, we count from the outside in, so this is number one, number two, number three, and then outside in, 1, 2, right? So that's how we count receivers again. Just a quick refresher of that. We do have an empty backfield here. We have our 5 linemen, our 5 receivers, because it's a 2 by 3, and we've got our quarterback. So yes, an empty backfield, and here, what is going to be what's going to be going on is actually, you're going to have on both the strong side and the weak side, you're going to have the Hoss concept. You're going to have a hitch and a seam, right? From our number one and number two. So our number one receivers are going to run the hitches on the weak and strong side, and our number two strong side and weak side receivers are going to run a seam. And our Y receiver, which is usually going to be like a tight end here, maybe lined up as a part of the line. But in this case, it's going to be a slot receiver who's probably like your quickest guy, most crafty guy, someone like a Julian Edelman who can play in the slot, like a little guy who can make people miss maybe in open field, really knows how to run his routes, and a very polished route runner. That's who our number 3 Y receiver on the strong side is going to be here. That's who you want to get in that position. That's going to be the most ideal for this play. Now, so we've covered what Hoss means. Now, Y-Juke. What does Y-Juke mean? Y is receiving to our Y receiver. That's why I labeled him here to set up for that. But Y-Juke means that our Y, our number 3 receiver here, he's going to have the option to juke his defender on his route. So basically, Our Hoss tells pretty much everyone who's running a route what to do, because on both sides they kind of mirror each other, the strong side and the weak side. But our only guy that's left to understand his role is our number 3 receiver. And what he's going to do is he's going to run a return route, or it's also called a juke route, right? So he's got a lot of options. What's going to happen is this guy is going to come inside, right? Now, it's almost like a 3-way option, okay? He's got 3 options. One is if this Mike sits inside here, right? If the Mike takes the zone, then this number 3 is going to go back out. He's going to run a return. Okay? Now, and that's if he's he's walled off inside. There's not much space here. If he is single covered and there is no Mike, or rather I should say if he's not covered at all and the Mike isn't sitting in this spot, this space down here, he can sit right here, right? And he can get the ball over for a quick 5, maybe 6, maybe even 7-yard gain, and then see what he can do in the open field. Try to make someone miss, break a tackle, something like that. But he's going to sit right there if no one's on him, right? And if someone is in this hole, he's going to run a return route. Now, the third thing he can also do is if he is single covered, right? Let's say right off the bat, let's say this Mike, he clears out into a deeper zone for some reason, and this Sam, he's kind of blocked, playing man with our wide receiver. What our Y is going to do, our number 3 strong side receiver, what he's going to do, he's one-on-one with our Sam. He's going to take this guy on inside, right? And he's going to come, and he can either juke him, right? And go. Or, let's say the Sam isn't guarding him. Let's say the Mike, he's kind of in a position in which he would be the main guy that would have to stop this in-breaking route. Where the Mike he doesn't sit in this zone. He does not sit in this zone. He plays man as our number 3 is coming over, right? So maybe now he's playing man here, right? What our number 3 can still do is he can juke him and he can go. Because he's, like we said in the beginning, we want him to be a crafty receiver. We want him to be pretty polished with his route running. A little guy, a pretty quick guy inside, right? So this guy, he's going to run here. Maybe he faces the Mike who comes down here. It'll juke, and he's gone, right? And we get the ball out in space on the run, and maybe, we get a big play out of it. So that's basically what our number 3 receiver is going to do. Again, if he's faced with a one-on-one situation, he can juke his guy and go. If he's faced with with no coverage really, no one on him, he can sit inside here. And if there are people that are going to wall him off, like a Mike who's going to come down and just sit in this zone and just take anything inside, he's going to run a return route coming outside. He's going to pull away from the pressure there. So that is basically how you run the play Hoss-Y-Juke. And that's all I really wanted to talk about today. One more pro tip. It's not really related to this play specifically, but in such an alignment in which you have 2 and 3, maybe an empty backfield here, no running back here. Let's say our weak side receiver here is like a running back. Usually, if let's say there's no Will, corners here, and let's say you got a safety here, and you got another safety here, right? If there's a safety on a running back on the outside on the perimeter, then that's usually a good indicator of some type of pressure coming inside. So that would indicate they would probably be, the defense would probably be sending like some type of blitz, some type of pressure. That's a pretty good indicator, right? A safety on a running back. So that's just a quick tip. And then that would spur the quarterback to just throw hot. He would just have to throw hot. And what throwing hot means is, I'm pretty sure I've covered it in other videos, but you basically throw a hot route. A hot route is a built-in route in the play, just like any one of these routes that we've put into the play in order to get out of like a sticky situation, like a blitz, like where they're bringing pressure, we don't have enough guys to pick it up, and you just know immediately that this guy's going to be open, or this is the first guy that I got to look to if I see too many guys coming at me. If I see a blitz, that's the first guy I'm going to throw to. I'm going to look to him, and our hot route is going to be outside. So it's going to be our hitch here, and then it's going to be our juke route here, right? But our main hot route is going to be our hitch on our strong side, right? But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Hoss-Y-Juke. Hoss tells majority of the receivers what to do because it's pretty much mirrored on both sides. You got a hitch and a hitch, two-man route concept, a hitch and a seam. So you got a hitch and a hitch on the number 1 receivers on both sides, and then a seam on the number 2 receivers on both sides. And then the Y-Juke just means that the Y receiver is going to have the juke route, which means that if the mic sits, then he pulls back out on a return route. If the mic doesn't sit and there's space here, the receiver can sit inside this hook zone. And if he gets a one-on-ones matchup, we're hoping that he can make his guy, send his guy flying one way and juke him and go. So that is what Hoss-Y-Juke is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.